$20 from Derpy Dackles. Hey guys, second time donating this marathon. I haven't really been able to watch too many of the big runs at the marathon since I'm stationed in Japan right now. Thankfully, though, I just tuned in time for the Awful Games Done Quick block. Keep on running, you guys. Well, thank you for your donations. Thank all of you for your donations. This is Awful Games Done Quick. I'm SS Skinner. I'm going to be here for a while dealing with these fantastic games. I've got another couple of donations to read here. $80 from Kimbo Kastanev. Hello from Austria. So glad this is happening again. I love watching you guys destroying games of my childhood. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you for your donation. I'm sorry that these were games of your childhood. And I've got $50 here from Andrew McMenamy again. Unfortunately, this has to be my last donation this event, but just because it annoys our hostess, I have to throw a bit more to these poor animals. You know, you probably shouldn't taunt the person who's going to either read or not read your donations. Just saying. There, I know you're going to taunt me anyway.
Like he has squiggly arms. Oh,
squiggly
I can hear
arms.
myself.
That's the perfect time to get the mic back on.
Hello. All right. Do I? Yeah.
You're gonna have a kid? Okay, good.
All right. It's all good? All right. Well, let's
Zip zap zow.
get radical. Are we ready on timer or? Okay. So, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, everybody. So you donated for this. This is cutscenes, and it gives you some semblance of what this story question mark actually is.
Now, I think this is actually a valid cutscene to show in general. Some people subscribe to the theory that meteors wiped out the dinosaurs, I subscribe to the fact that it was actually an evil wizard.
Yeah, except I'm going to turn that right on its head because I'm Radical Rex, and we're going to save some dinosaurs.
All right, let's see it.
So, in case you weren't watching, the only reason that I was not affected is because I was too dumb and or sleeping to be affected by the wizard's magic.
I mean, 90s kids slept through evil wizards.
Yep. Uh-oh. Off to a great start. Normally I'm supposed to make that jump, and I swear I make it pretty much every time.
Now, it's important to know that Radical Rex controls terribly. Pretty much everything about him is a giant hitbox that just loves to get absorbed by enemies. And he's not really good at killing enemies either.
No, in fact, you'll see later on, it's most of the time more beneficial for me to not touch the enemies and just take damage where I can. There's a lot of elements of bad game design at work here. Also, you might see skateboards. You're not going to see them again for a while, sorry.
But this is the reminder Radical Rex is in fact radical. He has a skateboard, it's cool.
He does like these half-pipe things and... Oh, no, no more skateboards. And all of these cutscenes just serve to kind of show your progression, and in this case I happen to hitch a ride on a pterodon for no reason, and it's clearly not picking me up. I'm grabbing onto it. Sure, why not? Into the swamp.
Now, this is going to introduce some concepts of the game that are really, really overused. That is instant death on things that don't look like they should instantly kill you. Those logs, you jump on the top of those logs, you instantly die. It's because they're pointy or something, I'm not too sure. Those spike things, instant death. This game will instantly kill you many different ways, and usually it's through platforms you can't see.
So, pretty much every stage is something like a maze. This stage in particular is kind of rough just to get through all the different logs and things, but there's a couple, you can preserve your momentum and kind of skip around and fall through things, but yeah, so I'm skipping a healthy chunk of the stage, but it's still fairly long.
You had to get through this as a kid before, like, that's how I had to play this game when I was younger, and
I'm sorry.
It was pretty much, like, well, this was great, we rented it at Albertsons, and that was like the game we got to play for like 8 hours until we put it back 5 days later, and we would make it to like the third stage or so, but just, you don't know where you're going after a while because everything kind of looks the same.
And that's not really going to change throughout many of the other stages. But, yeah, there's a lot of very minor things that'll go into trying to make it through these stages. Right now, it's just simply get through as fast as I can. Spoilers, there will be bosses eventually, and I will have to do a little bit of different strategies for those. But, yeah, there's a lot of silly animations that I am not showing you because that would be silly. And
This is a no fun run?
no fun whatsoever. I'm too rad to pay attention to dinosaurs, and that leads to probably the worst design stage in the entire game. Is this sequence here. So the entire floor, ceiling, walls, everything is bouncy, and while I'm bouncing, I don't have regular control. I can keep bouncing, but a lot of time that'll just get me killed. Those little spikes on the top, those will kill me. That falling tumor thing, that'll kill me too. So, yeah, avoid all of the bad things. And also, every single enemy in this whole stage is, you don't want to mess with them, simply because a lot of times, well, they're going to split apart, they're gonna oh my gosh, the stupid amoebas are the run killers here.
Yeah, that amoeba will split apart if he tries to kill it and then go faster. And they'll do it 2 more times before they start dying, so he'll have up to 8 amoebas at once, just trying to mow him down.
Those little green blobs split into 4 parts and home in on me.
Oh,
Fun time.
those little like spikes at the top of the screen right there, those are instant death. That stomach acid, instant death.
And a lot of this just comes down to waiting. But, so if you're paying attention, we've gone from some jungle We're now going, we went into a swamp and into a dinosaur stomach, and now we're in a graveyard with a bunch of revived dinosaurs. I don't, sure.
And the tired, small, happy dinosaur. Mm-hmm. And that guy, I don't know what those guys do. They just kind of run around.
By the way, this is a boneyard that goes to space.
And we're in space.
Yeah. Those pterodons, they are programmed to stay just out of your jump height, and they will raise their height every time you jump, so it's almost impossible to kill them if you do not have roar or something to bounce on, because they will adjust faster than you can, and all they do is just go off stream, bring back a rock, and drop it on you.
Hey, Omnigamer, I'm noticing there's a lot of Tyrannosaurus Rex mounts that are open. Can you go down those? Will it speed up the game? Will it make your life any easier?
No. If you try to go down one, it'll always send you down and or just kill you. There's sharp points on pretty much every turn, and if you try to hold off and take a shortcut, do something else, yeah, you will die.
Also, those weird, like, kind of tooth-shaped things are instant death spikes, too.
Yeah. If you haven't noticed the theme yet, things kill you.
Awesome!
And if I'm playing okay, they probably won't kill me. Token water stage. This squid enemy, you won't see it ever again. It's the only place in the game that it appears.
See, it's like Gimmick. They have just things for ambience.
Yeah.
It makes it create an atmosphere, a setting.
This stage also brings about our first boss, and that means... Oh, good.
Oh no,
What was that?
the skateboard.
It's gone.
It was
Yeah.
gone so fast. It
I
was,
lost the skateboard because
Radical Rex
I went,
isn't radical anymore.
I went too fast for the skateboard. Alright. So yeah, now the strategy changes around. I need to pick up these little flame power-ups, which will give me a bigger flame. And it also does about 8 times more damage. So it turns what would normally take 50 hits on this boss to something more manageable, like 8.
There isn't really a great indicator that it does that either. So
No. No.
once again, final boss I think took me like 50 or so hits when I was young because we were stupid.
Yeah. It's really not planned out very well. Like, you always know that, oh, more flames is better, because look, I have a much bigger flame now. But the damage scaling goes from like 1 damage to 2 to 4, then to 8. So that's on most enemies, but some bosses, for example, when you have full flame, it goes from taking 5 damage to 20. Also have no reason for that, but that's cool.
This game is secretly a Metroidvania. You have to explore everything.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I got a bad skateboard cycle twice. We're just gonna ditch it.
all right, I have a donation here, if that's okay.
Go for it.
It's a $10 donation from Daz, and it says, just wanted to chime in with some interesting trivia on Radical Rex. The game's based on a Game Boy game of We're Back, a Dinosaur Story, which was changed in Europe to Baby T-Rex. The music is really similar, and Radical Rex was also called Baby T-Rex during development. We're Back on the Game Boy was changed into 3 or 4 different games in different continents using different company licenses, with Baby T-Rex being the company's only original character that was released. So that's pretty interesting. Thanks for sharing that with us. Now I'll never
Shout out
have
to
that
Baby
space in-
T-Rex.
never have that space in my brain back again.
Okay. So there's our showdown with Sethron. I actually got a glitch that I had found just a week ago during that fight. It might have been a little hard to see, but I can actually fire 2 flames at once if I manage to time it correctly, and that helps a lot.
He's mad.
He's pretty mad. He's still speaking in Limerick, though. So here we meet Rexan.
Is it Radical Rexan?
Nope, just Rexan.
Average Rexan.
Average Rexan. There's a bug that can happen in this cutscene. I have no idea what causes it, but Rex will just stop in the middle, right where that green dino did. There's no reasoning for that green dino either. He just follows me and is always tired.
So, if you like those last few levels,
Get to see them again.
we gotta go back. And the added mechanic is there are now bosses to the game, which is not a good thing.
No, pretty much every boss it tries to have some variety of gimmick to it, but it also means that I universally need to collect flame power-ups, with a couple exceptions. But yeah, the way that the game is routed now, there's never a benefit to fighting a boss without full flame. And you'll see some of these flames take 20 seconds to go out of the way and get. Yeah, it's still faster than not having it.
Oh, by the way, like everything can hit you in the water too. There are some fish floating around, like that big fat one where you can suck the air out. But there's thinner versions of that fish that suck the air out of you, and of course, running out of air is an insta-kill.
Yeah, but don't worry, we'll get to have some time with the make-out fish.
It's a hell of an animation.
Those anemone things will instantly kill me if they're out of cycle, so I purposely wait there and get the air.
Now, that little fish won't hurt them, except they'll blow a bubble that for some reason it looks like you could get air from, but those just damage you instead.
Yeah, the bubbles hurt you. I don't know why. So right now I have this projectile flame, which is okay. If you notice, I use a combination of the flame and the kick. The kick is what's needed to actually kill them. The flames just freeze them because that's how fire works. Projectile flame has both of those properties, but it also does less damage. So I'm going to get rid of that by getting hit. And incoming boss. Oh my gosh.
More hit.
There it is.
Nice.
I want to kill him towards the top there so the platform spawns immediately and I can just jump to the exit, but I missed the quick kill. Yeah, bone time again. I wish I was nearly as powerful as this cutscene makes it seem. All of these enemies would destroy me.
I think the best part is he instantly kills one of the enemies with a kick, which you pretty much can't do. Like, the kick just does so much less damage.
It actually
if they're not
doesn't do
flamed.
damage. It doesn't hurt enemies unless they're frozen.
Yeah.
So it's just there to slow you down.
And naturally, second time coming to the Boneyard, there are a lot more instant death pits. Just falling is bad in general because it's a vertical level. You fall, you're going to go way back. But now you mess up a jump, you're going to die.
Yeah. Actually, they purposely remove some of these instant death pits, but it's the difference between, oh, I can die and start at a checkpoint, or, oh, I'm going to fall to the beginning of the level, which is also not so great. But if you remember from the first time we went here, there is a wind cycle that will happen at some point. Those are on a global timer. So at a certain point in the stage, we should have wind pushing me right now. And because this stage is longer than the other one, we're going to have that happen again. And if I'm quick enough, I'll be able to get to the boss before it happens. If not, I'm going to have to wait it out. So this pterodon, please don't hurt me. Okay.
Is the one that you saved for the...
Okay, I got him.
Is the one that you saved for the wind cycle?
Yeah, so normally my old strat would pause to roar there, and unfortunately they put an impossible to dodge number of roar power-ups along the way, so if you roar with full roar, it's something like 4 seconds where you just sit there. I mean, it does a lot of damage or something. I don't know, it doesn't get used otherwise, but yeah, it would cause me to miss this cycle. So I should just barely make it to the boss. And this boss used to be the most random one. I say used to. So I found that not so long ago.
Well, I mean, why do you even need to kill the boss?
Yeah, really. But the only way to damage that guy is he would spawn these golden bones from the ceiling, and you'd have to make them hit his skull.
So, here's like the one thing I don't get about Radical Rex. Why is his path to and from, like, wherever the wizard was, through this dinosaur? Like, on the way back, he gets eaten again. Like, this is just how he gets around.
It's obviously working for him.
That's that one thing.
So yeah, everything that you remember from the bouncy pit before comes back with a vengeance, with even more instant death, tentacles that will also kill you, and bouncy doors in some cases.
You can bounce off the bouncy doors naturally, and you can easily bounce to your death. That tentacle is instant death.
Come on. Yes, if I were to go that high, it would kill me. There are other difficulties for this, and all that they do is add more of those things. So there would be a tentacle here that I'd have to get out of the way of. There'd be a pterodon every 10 feet. So yeah, it's a really fun game. Try it out sometime.
Now, surprisingly, if those doors close on him, they don't kill him. That's like one of the few things that doesn't kill you instantly that seems like it really should.
Okay, bouncy door, okay. I've bounced off that door more times than I care to admit.
I was watching him practice today, and he bounced off the door, and I thought he was going to fall into the stomach acid.
Yeah, this stage has the costliest flame power-ups to get. Like a grand total of 30 to 40 seconds is spent just going out of the way to pick up flames, and it matters quite a bit when we get to the boss. Okay, I got a quick elevator cycle.
And good amoeba luck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the amoebas are totally random.
Yeah, wherever they happen to be they're just going around. They can block pretty much any of my paths. They can just randomly wind up in the middle of, and it'll matter a lot more when we get to what I call the ball pit. And these tumors can also crush you on the way up, so I'm a little overcautious of them. Alright.
Alright, and you're maxed out on fire?
I'm max on fire. Please? Okay. And if the amoeba spawns there too, it can knock me down, and I have to wait for the platform to respawn. Here's the ball pit. Okay. Alright. They were very kind to me. This other amoeba's sitting at the top somewhere. There he is. And we're heading to the boss. Oh, I missed a roar power up at some point. Oops. So one of the benefits to having full flame right now is that I can actually hit both of these orifices, whatever you want to call them, at once. So that expedites things. Okay, that was actually a really good super tumor fight. I don't know if there are official names for any of these bosses.
I think the super tumor is official enough.
Yeah. And I thought I was smart, but no, I still reached up and grabbed a pterodon. Good job, Rex.
That's just his commute. He plans on it. The pterodon has to be there every day or he can't get anywhere.
So this stage adds in a lot of new gimmicks in that everything is more awful. So I missed that. They added in a lot of these slopes that you have to be able to use to get to these vines, and without the vines you cannot progress. Oh my gosh, please.
And of course, naturally, enemies,
Wow. Sorry about this.
the enemies will keep kind of whittling away at him. Do you need to pick up any HP?
No, I'll be fine.
Alright.
They are gracious enough with placing these things elsewhere, but a lot of the stage you still can skip by just having them place things in other areas. Like in that section you can just walk right off. But unfortunately I need to move a lot further horizontally than in the past version of this stage. Alright. So when I come off of slopes or out of those tree trunks, I can preserve my momentum a little bit by jumping as soon as I hit the ground. If you were the TAS, you can do it a heck of a lot better by pressing a button at 30 hertz. But yeah, that's not going to happen anytime soon. So they can do a few extra tricks and skips.
I mean, having an input of 30 frames per second, or 30 inputs per second is pretty good, but...
Yeah, I'll keep practicing at it.
Gotta work on it. Those task strats, man. One day.
One day.
I mean, this is gonna be your speed game for quite a while, right?
Absolutely.
Is that all right if I read a couple donations?
Go for it.
All right. 7535 from Alex Neal says, "Hey guys, Tasmania was one of my favorite games, although I never completed it. The river part was always the worst. Massive shout outs to all those who make this marathon possible, and shout outs and love to my girlfriend who lets me watch this thing 24/7 every single year. 10 to Twitch Plays Pokemon 2, 10 to Blindfolded Child Dungeons, 10 is going to file name Lunk or Link to the Past, and the rest can go to Runner's Choice." Thank you for your donation.
So a little while ago, I had the hardest jumps in the game, which probably did not look like that, but they put slopes right at the normal distance where you need to jump to make that gap. And what that means is as soon as you go into a sliding thing, you will actually not be able to do any inputs. So that's great planning on their part. And it makes what should be a trivial jump into stupidly hard, and they put two of them right after each other. Okay. So whereas previously we had Super Tumor, this is Hell Hive.
Did you name these yourself?
No. Actually, yeah. But
They're pretty good names. I've got $50 here from Brian Koziel. Says, "Omnigamer, I've enjoyed watching and supporting all the hard work you've put into speedrunning all these years. Love you, bro."
thanks, Brian. All right, not bad, not bad. All of the orifices open. I think I can English. Orifices, that one. They open on a set cycle, so I knew I had enough time to wander off the side. But we finally make it back to the jungle of origin, and I bring a posse.
He was a jerk to that one-legged fly.
Yeah, he's really angry at insects when it's wizards that he should have all of his angst towards.
Poor 90s Radical Rex.
I know.
Luckily, he can be cool now.
The problem with this stage is that there's a very limited number of flame power-ups here, and they put them very much out of the way. So I do have to ditch a lot of skateboarding fun times just to make it.
I mean, in the end, you got to be less cool, more useful. Being able to kill the final boss is a nice thing.
It is.
Also, note that jump to get this fire upgrade is fairly well hidden behind the bush.
Yep. So I ditched the skateboard early. You can see that, oh look, you're supposed to use it all the way through here. And I would like to, but it just doesn't happen if you want to be able to kill the boss. So a lot of it's just setting up for that. Please don't hit me. All right. This projectile flame always does the same amount of damage, and it can blow up stuff that normally you'd use for a kick. Unfortunately, it's still not all that worthwhile, and it goes away if I get hit. So it's gone.
How long did it take you to beat the final boss first time through?
So the first time, I ended at the checkpoint with a bajillion lives, and probably took me the better part of 2 hours. He does a lot of damage, and I only had one flame power up, so I was doing 2 damage a hit, and he has something like 76 HP. So yeah, that takes a little while. And most of the time he's also hovering out of your jump distance, so you really need to commit to it. And the last flame power up here, there's one that's way out of the way, but luckily I don't have to go after it. And yeah, we have time for some more donations. It's just going to be walking, basically, until we
Sure,
get to
of
the boss.
course. I have $100 from Mama Kim that says, as a 2-time cancer survivor, I know the importance of fighting this deadly disease. Never give up and embrace fun. Kill it, oven donkey. Thank you for your donation. And $20 from RV Lass. It says, I have to ask, do the developers play test these games before releasing them to the public? Oh, and $20 for the squat minigame.
I don't know, did they?
It's a good question.
They usually do, but I don't think they have, like, people like...
Budget is something that's
Speedrunners.
hard to find.
I mean, they can play test it, but they have to fix the bugs they find. I mean, Radical Rex isn't actually that buggy either.
No,
It's just not
I
very
would have
good.
preferred if it were more buggy, like zips and stuff. Oh yeah, but not this time.
Yeah, it seems like this route is more about, or run is more about routing than anything else.
Did you kill that saber-tooth tiger with a skateboard?
You bet I did. I'm Radical Rex. There is a Genesis version to this, and most of the stages are the same. I'm gonna get safety. However, Sethron in this version is some geeky wizard. In the Genesis version, he is a weasel. Like a weasel. The animal. And I don't know why.
Is he still a wizard?
No. Oh, yes, he's still a wizard, but...
So a wizard, weasel wizard.
Alright, I've got double flame, and if I can keep it... There we go. Time. Okay, thanks. I actually have no idea how that relates to normal, where I skip cutscenes, but we're gonna go with that was pretty good.
Hey, did you die? No?
No, I
No?
didn't die. So I skipped the parts that make this game most awful. And yeah, we rescue the girl in the end. And we ride off into the sunset with our double skateboard.
Aww. So
And
sweet.
by the way, there aren't any credits after you beat the game. You just go back to the main scene. The developers didn't want to be known, so we'll let them keep their peace. But thank you, it's Radical Rex.
All right, thank you, Omnigamer, for that run of Radical Rex. Up next, we have Beethoven Second, run by Shrimp, and then after that, Brosensio playing Town with No Name. Beethoven Second is the last game that you can get in for the Beethoven Prize Pack, which, if you don't know what that is, it's pretty hype. I gotta be honest. I mean, a VHS tape in the year 2015